guys, as you may remember recently, I taught you guys about claim, data, and warrant, but we focused last time mostly on the claim and the data. Today I'm going to introduce you to the warrant. Just to recap what we learned from the last lesson, a claim is a simple statement expressing your side of a given topic. Although it does represent your opinion, you don't say I think or I believe in a claim statement. It's just a simple statement. You also don't give your reasons in the sentence. Just state the statement of your opinion. Whereas data are any facts, statistics, or quotes you can use to back up your opinion. So anything that can help you, any type of evidence to help back up your opinion. But today I'm going to introduce you to the warrant. Isn't he cute over there with his little goggles and his little book? So in writing, it's not a warrant for your arrest, although the words are related. If you think about it, what a warrant for your arrest is, or a search warrant, is the reason or the justification why the police are arresting you or searching your house. So dictionary.com defines warrant as an authorization, sanction, or justification. We're going to focus on that justification piece. In writing, a warrant is a written justification which shows the connection between the claim and the evidence. It ties the two things together. And don't worry, if it sounds confusing now, we're going to go over it a couple times and I will explain how it works. So consider this. If you're talking about a jury trial, a trial where a possible crime has been committed, let's say in this case, someone has been stealing iPhones in the school. So the lawyer would first of all make a claim. The lawyer would claim that the person who's been under arrest is not guilty of the crime. That is a claim. It's an opinion statement, but it's not backed up with I believe or I think, because that would weaken their argument. So the lawyer is coming out and claiming clearly, my client is not guilty of the crime of stealing iPhones. All right? Then her next job is to lay out the evidence. So perhaps she has expert witnesses, perhaps she has facts and statistics, perhaps she has things like fingerprints, etc. So she brings forth the evidence to make her case. But the most important part is she is going to have to explain to the jury how that evidence proves her point. Because fingerprints could be used to justify both sides. So that is going to be very, very important that the lawyer explains how the evidence she presented proves her point. So in that case, the warrant is like the closing argument, the part where the lawyer explains and interprets how the evidence supports his or her claim of guilty or not guilty. So here's how it works. Here is an example. This is one that we've talked about a little bit before. The claim is that school lunch contributes to school obesity. Again, that's a clear claim. It doesn't say in my opinion or I think or I believe. It's not giving the reasons. It's just telling you flat out school lunch contributes to school obesity. In order to prove that case, you're going to have to bring in some data. So the data that I have here is on October 5th, Mesa Public Schools served two options for lunch, pizza and burritos. The pizza contained 21 grams of fat and the burrito contained 15 grams of fat. A healthy meal should contain no more than 7 grams of fat. So good data to support that claim. But now you need to go to the next step and explain how that data supports that claim. So a good warrant for this would be, therefore, feeding students lunches with high fat content will cause students to acquire extra pounds. As you'll notice, we're talking about students' lunches, we're talking about the high fat content, and we're creating a cause and effect relationship showing that it would make them have extra pounds. So this warrant explains why that data proves your claim of school lunch contributing to school obesity. So a warrant interprets the evidence and shows how it connects to the claim. It's helping your reader understand your evidence and your claim. So in other words, it explains the why the evidence proves the claim. It is actually the most important part of a claim data warrant paragraph. If it is not strong and logical, it will ruin your argument. It is probably also the most difficult part to write. And just to be clear, we are talking about a single paragraph. A claim data warrant paragraph is a single paragraph. It's a body paragraph in your essay, and we'll talk about that more later. So to recap, the warrant is the explanation of how the evidence supports the claim, and it explains how the example, statistic, quote, or reference supports the claim, and it explains the significance or importance of the evidence. There are some great ways to help you get started with warrants. These are some common warrant starters, and your teacher will have a poster of this in her classroom that will help you see what warrant starters are like. So words like since, therefore, if, before, even though, unless, while, whenever, although. So those are the kinds of words that can help you if you're stuck on how to start a warrant. So we're going to practice a couple of these together. First, we start with the claim. People should not eat that mushroom. Now, I'm just going to go on record as stating that mushrooms I think are kind of gross, but on top of that, that particular mushroom in the picture kind of has a sketchy smile. So I'm going to go with a no anyway, but some people might think they want to eat that mushroom. So your data or evidence would be that mushroom is known to be poisonous. All right, again, it supports the claim nicely. But what you have to do is go to that next step and interpret it for your readers. So a good warrant might start with since. Since would be a good place to start. So since eating poisonous foods is dangerous to humans, that mushroom must not be consumed. So we've now tied the fact that eating poisonous foods is bad for humans, and therefore you should not eat the mushroom. It's tied the two together. An easy way to start for practicing is using since. You can develop skills using some of the other words later, but since is an excellent place to start. So warrant practice number 2. There's Mike, all laid back on the couch. So my claim is, the seniors should not elect Mike to be class president. My data to back that up is that most students know that Mike is very laid back. So a warrant would be, again, using that since statement to tie the ideas together. So if I was looking at that statement, I might say, what can I say about being laid back and maybe being a leader? So I might come up with something to the effect of, since laid back people are slow at making decisions, Mike would not make a good class president. So it ties the idea that laid back might not be a great quality for a class president, and I'm also tying that back into making decisions and stating that's why I think he would not make a good class president. Interesting to note, you could probably use that same data or evidence to argue the other side. This is why warrants are so important. Someone could make the same claim, is the seniors should elect Mike to be class president. And your data and evidence could be the exact same. Most students know that Mike is very laid back. But your warrant might read something like this. Since Mike is so easygoing, he won't be easily swayed by other sides or get too upset about something that goes on as class president. Therefore, he would be a good class president. This is what makes that warrant so important. You can't just let the data stand alone. So to review, a claim is made. You're going to make a simple statement of a claim. You gather evidence to produce in the form of logical facts, statistics, or quotes. Quotes, that is, don't know where that came from. And then finally, you're going to use a warrant to connect the evidence/data to the claim, justifying why and how your data proves your claim. Now, we're going to have a little bit of practice where you guys try creating warrants yourselves.